I found out why our HOA president was obsessed with my lawn, and now the whole neighborhood knows. I never thought I'd be at the center of a suburban civil war over grass, but here we are. It all started when I moved into Oakwood Estates last year as a quiet neighborhood with perfectly manicured lawns and an HOA that takes itself way too seriously. Within a week of moving in, I got my first friendly reminder from HOA President Richard Keller about my grass being 0.25 inches too tall, not kidding, minus the notice included measurements. I mowed it immediately, thinking it was just first-time homeowner hazing, but the notices kept coming. My trash cans were visible from the street by 3 inches. My garden hose wasn't properly coiled. My mailbox needed repainting because the shade of black was inconsistent with neighborhood standards. Meanwhile, my neighbors with identical violations received no notices at all. After my 6th citation in 2 months, minus this time for having a bird feeder that was attracting wildlife, minus, I started wondering if this was personal. At the quarterly alpha meeting, I finally met Richard in person. He was exactly what you'd expect. Polo shirt tucked into khakis, luxury watch too big for his wrist, that specific haircut that screams I want to speak to your manager. When I introduced myself, his smile disappeared. Oh, the new homeowner on Maple Drive. We have some things to discuss about your property maintenance. Something about his tone felt oddly familiar. Then it hit me. Richard Keller R. Keller, I dated his daughter Melissa in college. We were serious until she caught me cheating with her roommate at a party. That my proudest moment, but it was 12 years ago. Could this middle-aged man really be harassing me over decade-old college drama? I decided to test my theory. The next weekend, I installed a security camera facing my front yard. Then I deliberately left my garden hose uncoiled, minus a clear violation of HOA Code Section 7.3. At 6:30 a.m. Sunday morning, my camera caught Richard sneaking onto my property, assuring my hose with a tape measure, taking photos, then pulling the hose further out of its proper position before taking more photos. I was floored. This man was literally manufacturing violations. Instead of confronting him directly, I made copies of the video and prepared a presentation. At the next HOA meeting, when Richard started reading my latest violations, I stood up. Before we continue, I'd like to address some security concerns in the neighborhood, I said, connecting my laptop to the projector. Someone has been trespassing on my property. The video played in crystal clear HED. Richard's face went from red to purple as the room watched him doctoring evidence against me. That's Richard, someone gasped. Is he making the violation worse? Another asked. When the lights came back on, I smiled. I discovered that President Keller has been targeting me specifically because I dated his daughter in college. While I understand a father's protectiveness, manufacturing HOA violations is both against our bylaws and potentially illegal trespassing. The room erupted fraternally. I wasn't the only one Richard had been harassing. By meeting's end, Richard had voluntarily stepped down from his position and the board voted to dismiss all my previous violations. My new neighbor Susan is HOA president now. She doesn't care about my grass or my bird feeder. She just asks that I bring my famous spinach dip to the neighborhood cookouts. Sometimes the pettiest tyrants have the most personal motivations, and sometimes all it takes is one security camera to bring down a suburban dictator.